Good afternoon to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. Today is Thursday, May 7th, and another day has gone by in this St. Bernard COVID-19 saga. As we do every day, we will say a personal prayer for those who have lost their lives and for the family of those who lost their lives. Amen. Thank you. I want to start off with our numbers today. Our hospital is still doing very well with everything that's going on in St. Bernard Parish. They're taking care of our COVID patients. We have no ventilators today, so and our patients are dropping, right? And we're already so low when you compare to other parishes throughout the state, and that's why we are so excited about the governor's announcement on Monday, and we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. But our state numbers, right now they stand at 508, and we still at the, with God's grace, we are still at the 20 deaths here in St. Bernard Parish. That number 508, 2 days ago it was 502, so our numbers are very, very low. I do want to explain the jump in numbers, and I believe it was on Tuesday. We had a jump of 22, and we had a lot of concern. I tried to explain yesterday how we need to look at these numbers over a 2-week period, and we continue to think that way. But just to give you a specific answer to why those numbers jumped, there was a new lab in the state of Louisiana that came on board. So a lot of their numbers were piled up, if you will, throughout the state before that they could release their numbers. So that's the reason why we had the big jump a couple of days ago, and we feel good about that. We know what's going on in our community, and our citizens are doing such a great job with the social distancing guidelines coming down from CDC. As we move through this process, we haven't even gotten into phase 1 yet, and we're dealing with a community that is trying to get out more, right? We're dealing with businesses who are trying to open up and save their livelihood, to save their life. You know, think about that for a second. When you see something and you think somebody's breaking the rules, or they're trying to, they're not trying to break the rules because of you, they're trying to adhere to the rules. A lot of these things are interpreted differently, and just remember, businesses, it's hard for them to 100% by inch, separate tables, how many people are in your business. It's difficult. So if something is directly affecting you, then I want you to call parish government. If it's not directly affecting you and it looks like people are trying, we don't need to get those calls, because we go out there and monitor it anyway. But a lot of the interpretation of these rules, I just want to give you one example. No more than 10 people in a retail establishment. So I could go into a clothing store, I could go to Walmart, I could go to a clothing store, I could walk around as long as I want, and as long as there's less than 10 people in that store or business, everything's okay. So I go into a restaurant and I order, I'm the only guy around, and I order a sandwich, and I sit at the counter and I wait for my sandwich. It's perfectly legal. If I order a drink and I'm sitting at the counter and I'm sipping on my drink and I'm waiting for my sandwich, it's perfectly legal. In my mind, that's okay. And you could have up to 10 people in your business waiting for their order. The 11th person needs to wait. All of the employees need to have their mask on. So all I'm saying is people are interpreting these things in a different way. Some businesses, you can't dine in. Here's another one. You can't dine in at a restaurant, right? Well, the reason is because specifically it says that you have to serve outdoors, and you can only consume product outdoors, right? But sitting around and waiting for your order to come is something different than that, right? So I just want to move forward through this with all of us being on the same team and encouraging each other and being responsible. And as long as we're being responsible, we're going to continue to do the great things that we have done over the last 6 or 7 weeks or so. And I want to thank everybody for their hard work, for doing as best you can by being responsible and being mindful from our standpoint and the community standpoint that you're trying to open up your business and you're trying to create a livelihood for yourself and for your family and for your employees. Yesterday was a great day. We did a flyover of St. Bernard Parish. My good friend Gibby Andre, former prosecutor in Plaquemines Parish, and grew up with him at Rebel Park. I want to thank him a great deal for doing what he did yesterday. We had a beautiful flyover. We caught every fire station. I want to thank our firefighters in St. Bernard Parish. They had their lights on and they were taking pictures, and it really meant a lot to them that we did this and we recognized their efforts. The Sheriff's Department's no different, along with our healthcare workers and our EMTs. So we want to thank y'all again for everything. The flyover was great. The response was great. And I want to clear up one aspect of that. Gibby Andre flew the plane. I did not. People, they thought I was a pilot. I'll take credit for it, but I was not flying the plane. I had to call Fox 8 and let them know. They didn't do a correction, by the way, but we got through that. And look, yesterday was Nurses Day, and it was great to recognize a lot of our nurses on the front lines at our hospital. I failed to mention our nurses working in our school system. My wife is the supervising nurse at for St. Bernard Parish School System. She's been working for 35 years in the nursing profession, and just, you guys know what they do. They serve the public every single day, whether they're in COVID or whether it's just a regular day. So just keep that in mind when you go to the doctor's office or you go to the pediatrician's office. And, thank your nurse, because this year I believe is the Florence Nightingale anniversary. It's a big deal for nurses, and it's something that they do every single day. So I'm mindful of that as I go through my day today. We're going to Baton Rouge. Well, I shouldn't say we. I'm going by myself with social distancing and everything. I can only be one in my truck. We have to drive 100 miles to protect the citizens of St. Bernard Parish's right to sue companies who have damaged our coast. Now let's think about that for a second. We got politicians all around Louisiana want to have local rights to open their businesses during this COVID-19. It's the same people who want to take away our rights to sue companies who damaged environmentally our coast. It's amazing to me. We've been fighting this battle against corporations who've damaged our coast, I'll say it again, for 7 years now. And it's been a battle. We have won at every single hearing. We have won at every single decision by a judge so far, right? So now the Senate wants to take that right away from us because the special interest that they represent, that's all I can assume, is losing. We have a $100 million settlement for the state of Louisiana. It means somewhere around $4 to $5 million for St. Bernard Parish to repair and protect our coast. And Baton Rouge wants to take away our right to do that. Look, if there's anything that I'm for pushing things away from big government into the locals and making our government as small as it can be and as efficient as it can be. So we're going to Baton Rouge today. We're going to be fighting for that right, and I hope we're successful. We don't have to go through a veto with the governor and having to fight that going forward. We just need to make businesses accountable for their actions. It's no different than someone speeding on a state highway. We regulate and enforce that. So we're going to be going to Baton Rouge tonight. I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to tomorrow discussing the possibilities of our Governor John Bel Edwards' decision on Monday, May 11th. So with that said, thank you to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish, and God bless each and every one of you.